Our next qualifier is a perennial award winner at Investors Group. Joined our company in 1995. This is his fourth Business Achievement Award. 2013 business credits, $29.3 million. From Calgary South, Part 2, please join me in congratulating Shafik Hirani and his wife, Beth. Shafik and Beth.
First and foremost, I got to start off by thanking Beth. Beth has always been awesome. You know, I've said this a million times before. She's very supportive. She's beautiful, inside and out. She's a great person. She's always correcting me when I'm, politically wrong about stuff. I could be like, that guy doesn't know Jack. And she's always like, Shafik, you don't get to be executive vice president by knowing Jack. And she's also, I'm going to pay for that later. She's also a good mom, and that makes her super sexy to me. So I'd like to thank Beth. I thought, I would just sort of tell you, I want to thank a few people. And first and foremost, in the corner over there is Tom Van Tighem. And Tom, it's such an honor to have you in the room. That's the guy I've been talking about for the last 10 years I've been up here. And he hired me in 1995. I can't believe it's been 20 years, man. And, he hired a guy with a mullet and colored contact lenses and white socks, and he would put ties on me and fix my tie, and I still haven't got that right, but I don't know how to express my gratitude to you, Tom. Thank you for everything. And Tom then was hired by Rick, and Rick, I did not call you Grandpa, I called you the grandfather. It's funny how old people, you can say one thing and the old people hear it wrong, eh? So, after Rick, what was fascinating about Rick, and I've told him about this in the past, but he doesn't know this. Rick changed my life because I was from an East Indian culture, and I was told by my parents that, you got to go get good grades and you got to go get promoted. And I pushed Tom for a promotion, and Tom, I wasn't ready, and he kept telling me I wasn't ready, and one day he promoted me, and all of a sudden Rick stepped out of the role, and that was a really shocking thing for a regional director to step out of the role. And I saw him because I was living in a 600-700 square foot condo, and he worked out, I don't know if you even remember this, and he was working out where I lived, and I walked up and I said, Rick, my name is Shafik, and I can't believe you're stepping out of management. He's like, Shafik, I love my clients. And it never occurred to me that people would actually step out of management. I thought the whole path was to go forward. And I appreciate that. And I took some of those lessons that I learned from Tom and Rick, and I shared them, and I was so happy to see that I then started hiring some significant people, 6 DDs, 8 elite people, 2 that should have been here today, but they can't because they're having babies. Now, Girish, who's been in my division for 4 years, has taught me more than I could ever repay. And that is sort of, I don't know how to say it, it's magical. And so there's a few people I just want to say really thank you to really quickly. First one is Kyle. Kyle, thank you. Kyle and I have our bi-weekly or monthly chat on the phone, and we text, and he's a phone guy. He'll call me, sometimes at midnight. I don't know what he's calling at midnight for, but my wife and I was like, who is it? It's Kyle again. Okay, well, I'll answer it. And it's like, what do you want, Kyle? And he's like, nothing. I also want to thank Miles. Miles and I have had, probably one of the most competitive rivalries ever, but he calls it a friendly competition, which it isn't. It's just because he's beat me out of the last 8 out of 10 years. I don't know why he calls it friendly, the jerk, but I don't know how to express how much that guy has meant to me over the years. He's been spectacular, And there's other people like Nick Backish. Nick is, I don't know if you guys know, but Nick was ranked one of the top 50 financial advisors in Canada by Wealth Professional magazine. That was pretty awesome if you ask me. Number 6 out of about 50,000 Canadians. And that's very inspirational to me to see a young guy like that doing good. And it's nice to see James Carney and some of the newer blood come in. They're killers coming in. And that makes me happy. And I also want to just express a couple of other appreciation of gratitude, because there's a few people in the room, like, I don't know if you guys remember, but I decided to basically get out of management, and I wanted to build a practice, and it was really tough optically, and I really got to express my gratitude to Mark and Murray, because firstly, Murray has always been awesome. I've seen him more than anybody, I think, because I've been on the DD side, so the DD, you get these national councils, I've been at the AGM, so I know that he's like, Shafik again, he's sitting with me again, what do I do with Shafik again? And when I wanted to step out of the role, you got to understand that optically for Mark, it was tough. You got the 7-time National Manager of the Year. I'd won the Pillar Award, which is a super hard award to win, 8 times in a row. I was the #1 ranked manager. 5 times. Miles, you've won that, haven't you? Once or twice? 2's a big number. That's good. Congratulations. And I went on stage, and in front of 1,000 managers, I went and said, listen, I got to move on, and I got to go build my practice. And that's my love, and Rick taught me that. And then I realized that might have been stupid, because I did not want to let Mark down. He's done so much for me. And I asked Mark, I'm so sorry. He goes, Shafik, I'm with you. I know optically it looks a little bad. I'd love to have you in the role, but I got you. I got your back. And he basically has been so helpful through this transition as I switch regions, get out of management, transition to IROC. He's made, Herp, and it's been so awesome having Herp in my corner, because he's made Herp, and Herp's been like a full-time project for me, and he's been so helpful, and Mark and Murray have helped out with that. Murray referred me my associate, who was good friends with his son. That's a family. And so the last people I would like to connect with, over the last decade, I've had family on the management side and family on the elite side, and I've always been curious about who I connected with more. And it's this family here that helped me make that decision. I just, over time, felt I connected with you guys, a little bit part of this family, and I wanted to express my gratitude to every single person. People like Paul Valancourt, who has been so inspirational. People like Ralph Weeks, who inspired me before I even started, before I even knew him. I don't know how to thank you. So from the bottom of my heart, I would like to express my sincerest and most humble thanks to the collective group of everybody. Thank you very much.
Shafik, we all love you, Shafik, but Ange, note next year, countdown clock, 30 seconds when Shafik comes up here, okay? But thank you very much, Shafik, for sharing, and again this year.